So what do you call a hardcore environmentalist who actually has romantic feelings for Mother Earth? Well, say hello to the newest gender identity, the ecosexual. Yes, the ecosexual. Now, astute observers of this space might recall that we recently reported how New York City now officially recognizes 31 genders. But it looks as though the Big Apple jumped the gun, given that certain folk are now coming out of the closet identifying as gender number 32, the ecosexual. Ecosexuals believe they can save the planet by having sex with plants. No, I'm not making this up. Yes, I wish I was making this up. Earlier this month, numerous ecosexuals gathered in Sydney, Australia, where they romped with vegetation and each other in a shag shack called the Ecosexual Bathhouse. Yeah, baby, that is a cucumber under my shorts. And yes, I am happy to see you. Amanda Morgan of the University of Nevada in Las Vegas is supposedly a renowned ecosexual expert, and in a media report, she recently described the de rigueur activities of a typical ecosexual. Quote, "There are people who roll around in the dirt having an orgasm covered in potting soil. There are people who F trees or pleasure themselves under a waterfall," end quote. Thanks, Professor. But correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we used to call people such as this exhibitionists or perverts or just garden variety insane? But don't you dare do that today, folks, not unless you want to endure a visit from your friendly neighborhood human rights commissioner, because apparently ecosexual is a bona fide gender varietal right up there with straight, gay, bi, trans, two-spirit, fluid, non-binary, oh heck, you name it. And supposedly there are some 100,000 people the world over who now gender identify as ecosexuals. Can you believe it? There are 100,000 horn dogs out there banging the bark off the old oak tree and loving it. I'll tell you one thing, Joyce Kilmer was obviously way ahead of the curve when she penned the poem Trees back in 1913. You remember that old chestnut, don't you, folks? I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast. Ooh, who knew Miss Kilmer was covertly penning ecosexual erotica a century ago? You cheeky monkey, Joyce. But hey, in the final analysis, it's none of my beeswax when it comes to the sort of stuff aroused environmentalists do in the privacy of their own rose gardens. But has anyone ever addressed the thorny issue of consent? I mean, holy Yongameshi here. What if that weeping willow or mulberry bush wants nothing to do with your mammalian sex organ penetrating its roots? And how does one go about courting an inanimate plant in the first place? Hey, baby, do I make you horny? Do I? Do I? I guess not. Looks like I'm not an ecosexual after all, but not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. Actually, I think there might be. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Did you like that commentary? Well then, click subscribe below and never again miss another Rebel video.